Yo, what's going on YouTube? Just a quick disclaimer here before the video starts. I just want to make sure everybody understands that everything they're seeing here is completely above board. I have got a medical prescription in the UK, so it's all perfectly legal for me. Obviously, this is all just for research and just for information and knowledge, just spreading some awareness about everything that's going on in the community right now. And basically, YouTube, don't strike my video down, please. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yo, just a quick one here. The sound in this video is going to be rough. I messed up with the recording and it's made the sound crap. But I hope you still get the gist of this video.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? In today's video, we are going to be doing my 6-month review of being a prescribed medical flower patient in the UK. I've got some notes. They're just bullet points. I haven't scripted this. I'm just going to go through it and I'll give you my opinion on how everything's gone so far. Listen, I'm going to be quite positive here. I'm not going to lie. I know there's a lot of negative people on the internet, but I'm going to be quite positive here. There is some bad stuff, but I'm going to be quite positive, and I might bother some people because I know some people get mad when people get positive about things, especially with the UK medical flower scene. But in general, I'm going to be quite positive, and we'll start with the cons. So it's been 7 months. It's not 6 months. It's 7 months. This is my today I received my 7th month prescription, and the first con is inconsistency, and I mean inconsistency with the same bit. So I don't order the same bit. This prescription, I've ordered the same bit again. I haven't received it yet, right? But I don't order the same bit over and over again because I'm trying to get as many different types in as possible to get the videos out there and so on. So I don't generally order the same thing again. But this time I ordered 2 bits again. Like I said, I haven't received them yet. But my mate, he has a very large prescription. I mean very large. And he will order sometimes even the same thing that for the whole prescription. And out of the 10 plus packs that he has, he will have 3 or 4 packs in there sometimes that are really bad compared to the other ones, and that is no good when you're trying to stick with the same product. The inconsistency is no good. That can't be happening. You can't have one bag and then the next bag be nowhere near as good as the one before that or the one after that. That, for me, that's a no-go. I mean, I could go back to the same street dealer and I could pull 10 bags in a row and get the same consistency generally, unless they're reaching the end of the big bag, that is. On top of that, the next one is price, and it can be quite expensive, especially when you include clinic fees. Some clinics have £200 just to sign on and then £50 a month. I'm with CB1, and with CB1, basically at the minute I paid the £50 up front, and then I don't pay anything else except my delivery fee on each prescription, which isn't that bad, to be honest. But when I was recently, I had do I change clinic, and this rolls into the next thing, and it's availability. It's that CB1 has had real issues with availability recently, and some clinics are having 200 plus items available, including vapes and edibles, and they have it all, whereas CB1 has had less of it, a lot less of it. Sometimes edibles aren't available, sometimes vapes aren't available, and we're talking for weeks here at a time. And on top of that, also they are having issues with flour. They literally, if you wanted something cheap for the last 2 weeks, you would not have got it. The reason that my prescription and my videos haven't been consistent this week is because I actually waited, because I did not want to deal with the fact that everything they had was super expensive, and I didn't particularly want. So I just waited, and yeah, so basically anyway, like I was saying, the availability, but then on top of that, because I looked for another clinic, and I was thinking my Medica, and I looked around, and mate, I'm telling you, some of these other clinics are super expensive, and yeah, some of them you got to pay for 6 monthly appointments, and it can be really expensive, and that really needs to be sorted. And I think it will be sorted, because as these companies expand, the clinics expand, and more people come on board, they have to then become more competitive. Anyway, rules of consumption. This is another one. Basically, you're only allowed to vaporize. If you, for me, not a problem, because I only vaporize anyway. But if you are a spliff smoker, or if you are a bong smoker, then you're not consuming your medical flower legally, and therefore the script is kind of null and void. Basically, if you're caught doing that, then obviously you'd be liable for arrest still at that point, which for me is insane. I don't, like I say, I don't smoke, but if I did, I can understand the point of view of them people. But again, if you're mixing with tobacco, you're kind of killing the medical side of it, and yeah, so basically that's my negatives out of the way. Like, as far as it goes with me, that's the negatives out of the way, and the pros, for me, massively outweigh the cons here. And my first pro is the quality can be fantastic if you do your research, if you look into it. Like, I've only been stung 2 or 3 times in the whole time I've had it, and when you're jumping on a brand new product that hasn't had reviews before, obviously you are taking that risk. But if you can look into it and you can do your research, mate, you don't need to worry generally, because most of the time it's going to turn up and be fine. Like I said, there is that issue of inconsistency every now and then, which can be a pain in the ass. But generally, if you've done your research and you've looked into it, you're going to be fine. And I have had some really lovely flower. And this is coming from someone who's had some of the best flower that the world has got to offer. I was involved, obviously I went to prison for dealing. I was involved in Cali, I was involved in UK. Listen, I've seen some great flower, and medical's catching up big time, and in some cases even taking over. Like the Blue Lobster that I had last prescription was absolutely incredible, and I would recommend that bit of flower to almost everyone. And vaping, this is the next one. Vaping for me is a win. I enjoy vaping. I've enjoyed vaping for a few years, and I have to say, sorry about that brief interruption there. My prescription arrived. Yeah, so vaping for me is a win, and basically I've enjoyed vaping for the health benefits massively. I don't have the pain in my chest that I once had. I don't have the shortness of breath that I once had. I still get the shortness of breath every now and then, but it's because I spiel. I'll talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and I'll hit the end of a sentence and be like, but when I was smoking, I had big issues. I had pain in my chest. I had real bad shortness of breath. I'd wake up with real lung issues, and to be honest, that has decreased for me significantly. And I feel like you get a cleaner, far more vibrant high from a vaporizer than you do from smoking it. I don't get the grogginess. I don't get all the crap that comes with it with smoking anymore. And that for me was an absolute win. Dog, stay away from the script. Stay away. Hey, leave it alone. And the next bit for me is you can have vape cuts and edibles as well as flour. So, and oil as well, obviously, you know, you can have that as well. But for me, that's a win. I have them on my script as well. I don't generally review them, but I have them on my script. And yeah, if you're not a smoker and you still want to use the product, man, this is another win for them. Because some countries you can't have any of these things. And that's a big deal for the UK, because we are very draconian in most of our laws and rules in this country nowadays. All the government's so old and set in their ways, and I do feel like we need an update potentially with our drug system. But anyway, safety from the police. I'm someone who's been to prison, and I have I had no charges looming over me or anything like that, and my life has been massively turned around since I got out of prison. And I don't want interactions with the police and being arrested for consuming more medicine. I simply don't want it. if you're keeping everything in its packs and legal, you can move around with it. If you're not smoking it in joints, you're fine. Obviously, with me, that's how it is. I don't smoke joints and I don't smoke bongs. I smoke bongs, but they're vaporized bongs. Yeah, and I use obviously either the Solo 3 or the desktop ball vape, which isn't a ball vape because it's the ballless. But yeah, safety for me, it's big. It's really up there because I don't want to go back. I simply do not want to go back, and that rolls into the next bit as well, and that's driving. Basically, when I was first prescribed, I spoke to my doctor. I asked him exactly what the rules are around driving. I explained to him that I generally smoke in the evenings, and then I'll sleep on it, and then I'll get up in the morning and I won't smoke if I'm going to drive. I won't vape if I'm going to drive. And yeah, he basically told me that was perfectly fine and you're legal at that point, and they don't really have a case. So yeah, for me, again, that's a win for me. And the next thing is ease of access. A lot of people really struggle with this, but actually, if you're even remotely savvy with tech or anything, like, you're going to be good. All you got to do is just get if you've been to the doctor for a condition and you've tried 2 or more different treatments, it can be a lot of things as well. Like you can, I mean, obviously I got keratoconus, which is an eye condition, and I tried all sorts of things to stop my eyes from. Basically, I end up with big headaches, but I also have shaky eyes. And for me, flower always reduced the shakiness, always reduced the tension in the head. Yeah, and like I said, straight away, just go and get your summary care report or record, and you can send that to your clinic that you're applying for. Tell them your conditions, and then you sit down and have a meeting, and basically you'll be prescribed, essentially, if your conditions meet the requirement. But most people will, and most clinics are pretty good, to be honest, so I think you'll be alright. So it's easy if that's what you really want. And to be honest, I think at this point, if you are a smoker or a user of flower in this country, then there is no reason that you shouldn't have a medical prescription. And I know that's going to upset some people, but really, you're looking after yourself here. And I think that's the biggest point that comes away from this for me, because I had some bad experiences through my life relating to flower. And I have a point of anxiety that has gone. It's completely gone. My life has turned around. My life has changed massively because of this prescription. And I have never been happier. And I think if you have an experience like mine, then you will be more than happy with that script. And if you see the smile on my face right now, it's genuine. And listen, look, my hair's standing on end on my arms, because that's exactly how this has affected me at this point in my life. And I have to say, this country has done pretty well. It needs to do better, but it's done pretty well so far. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for this. I hope this stays up, and I hope this carries on, because honestly, this has been life-changing for me. And I know some people are going to be like, oh my God, he's being too positive, and blah, blah. But listen, for me, this has been life-changing, and that's exactly where I'm going to leave this right now, because for me, this has been life-changing, and I think for a lot of people, this will be as well. And that's the end of the video. That's my 6-month review. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, drop me a like. If you don't, drop me a dislike. Subscribe to the channel, help us grow. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.